Today we're going to be talking about our technology initiative, which is based around data tracking and changing the way that classrooms look, new classrooms. There are lots of reasons to include technology in your classroom. Some of these are that it prepares your students for their future. We are leading 21st century learners. The things that they need to know and be prepared for are not the same as what we had to do when we were in school. We are also always focused on student achievement. What can we do to improve the learning experience? We're going to promote digital citizenship. Digital citizenship is how and what you are using the internet for. And then we're also not only going to focus on students. This initiative is going to provide teachers an opportunity to improve what it is that they do. We have three main focal points for this initiative: data tracking, flipped classrooms, and then professional development and pedagogy. We're going to use data management systems to track data to improve student success. We're going to be doing this through Mastery Connect. So students, teachers, administration, and parents are going to be able to see what students are thriving in and where they're struggling. We're also going to talk about flipped classrooms. Flipped classrooms are student-led. They can build relationships. We're going to reimagine the way that classrooms are designed for teachers and for students. Pedagogy and professional development, we cannot do anything effectively if we don't have the training for it. We've derived two goals based around those focal points. The first one is about data tracking. And it is, by the end of the school year, 90% of teachers will be able to use the Mastery Connect Performance Tracker to quickly and efficiently analyze student data on summative assessments to better understand student misconceptions and review commonly missed questions. Our second one is, by the end of the spring 2024 semester, 50% of teachers will teach one unit using the flipped classroom model effectively. These students will be given formative and summative assessments that are the same as students in traditional classrooms, and the two sets of student scores will be compared and analyzed by the expectation that the variance of scores is under 15%. I know I read that word for word. You guys can all read, but I want to be very clear about what it is that we are working towards. One of our focal points is data. This image right here is a screenshot from Mastery Connect. You can see up here, it says things like 52F1, 52F2, 52R2, 52R3. These are all State of Oklahoma academic standards. The green are students who have mastered that standard. The yellow means they're near mastery, and red means remediation. This is going to allow you to more effectively break down where is your students are struggling, what they have mastered, what they are good to go on, where they need a little review, and where they really need to be retaught. It's going to allow for more meaningful instruction moving forward, but also if you don't need to be moving forward. If they are all in the red and yellow over here, the standards aren't mastered. So while this isn't standard-based grading, it is a more strategic breakdown of state standards. Flipped classroom is where students will do research or watch instructional videos, instructional content on their own at home, and then they come to class ready to discuss. So instead of having a lecture-style classroom where a teacher gets up there and just gives directions and then they go home and do the work, we're doing it the other way around. They're getting the instruction before they come to you. Then you can use your class time to do hands-on activities, to discuss, to do interactive activities. Our 4 areas of professional development would be how to compare data, pedagogy, Mastery Connect, and flipped classrooms. Mastery Connect actually has a built-in professional development that we've included in the purchasing package. So part of your training when you are learning how to do it will be professional development. The flipped classroom, we have these 2 videos right here that are linked in that promote flipped classrooms They encourage PD to take place, that professional development aspect. And they also go through pros and cons of using this strategy. So how it works, how it doesn't, stuff like that. Teachers are going to be able to compare their data, not only from students from the beginning of the year to the end of the year to see progress, but also teachers who are using the flipped classroom method. We're going to compare it to those who aren't. We're going to see, where did they struggle more? What were more questions? What was behavior like? How many office reports did you guys have to make? A successful implementation for an academic standpoint would be that on assessments, there's not more than a 15% variance between classrooms who are using the flipped classroom method and those who aren't. And this is going to be a great opportunity, this whole entire initiative, for teachers to learn new best practices, because the best practices that were in place when you started teaching are likely not the same best practices. They might be similar, but with new research coming out all the time and just things changing the way that they are in the world, we are going to continue to strive for successful strategies and best practices. This is what our timeline looks like. This is not something that's going to happen overnight or even in a couple of months. This is our timeline for the entire 2023-2024 school year. Right here on this slide, we have just that first semester. So we need to, in the summer, June and July, secure all the funding, get the computers, get the subscriptions, all that hardware, and then work on installation and troubleshooting of things. So making sure that when staff and students show up in August, it's ready to go from the installation side of it. In August, we're going to that August school board meeting. We're going to finalize that school board commitment for the purchase, get all administrators trained, and then find leadership roles. If you'd like to be on a leadership team that is kind of in charge of implementing this and ensuring its success, please let me know. This would all happen before teachers even show up for professional development in August. Then in late August, early September, we're going to start training technology and leadership personnel on these aspects of the initiative. So teaching them how to use Mastery Connect, having those professional developments for flipped classroom. We would like an IT person, a technology teacher, and then one team leader per content area, so that during these early professional develop days, we can get you all trained. Because then those leaders are going to go train their team members in their PLC meetings, so that throughout the year, as you have questions, you know exactly who to go to ask for them. In October, we are going to roll this plan out. So we're going to get the community involved. We're going to make sure parents know what's going on. And then you're going to begin using it in your classroom. That'll continue into November and December. And then we'll also continue to provide professional development, have administration monitoring the progress, making sure everyone knows how to use it and that they are using it. And then we're also going to allow for feedback. That's going to come from students and from teachers. We want to know what's working and what isn't. The second semester, January, February, and March, are really going to be focused on continuing to monitor what's happening and then taking that feedback. So if you notice something that's really not working, or that really is working, or if it would kind of work if we made this little tweak, we're going to have time for those discussions and that input. In April, we will begin collecting feedback from experts and from you guys, so that initial leadership team, collecting all that data and filling out informal evaluations. Then in May, we'll complete the formal evaluations from all of the input that we have gathered at that point and begin working on ways to make this program better. We don't want to be stagnant, especially this first year as we are rolling it out and trying it out for the first time. We want to continue to develop methods for improvement. But why do we need this? What is the actual purpose? Well, for data tracking, specifically using Mastery Connect, it's been linked to student performance. It's going to increase content retention. The gap from 5th grade to 6th grade, they're not going to lose so much. We will address misconceptions. As you guys look at data, you can go over misconceptions or commonly missed questions with your student. If you have a whole standard that is bright red, you know that they don't understand parts of speech. You know exactly what it is that they don't understand, versus when it's by question, it can be a little more vague. If you are just looking question by question, it may be terminology, it may be the way it was worded, it may have been all of these things. Here, we know where the error is. That's also going to help you make sure that your classroom and your assignments, specifically your graded assignments, are accurately aligned to state standards. That's going to increase your content knowledge as well. So understanding what standards are asking for what. Mastery Connect is also set up very similarly to the state test. So we teach 5th and 6th graders, and using this platform is going to make them more prepared formatically for the state test. They're going to be more prepared, they're going to be more comfortable using the computer, they're going to be more comfortable seeing these types of questions, reading the passage, and then answering questions. It sets up very, very similarly. Flipped classrooms allow for student interaction, better relationships, and improved working conditions for the teacher. When students show up and they are ready to get going because they are excited for being here, they aren't bored, it's going to be better for everyone around. Teachers are more involved. Students are ready to learn. They're not bothering other people. They're not worried about what's going on behind them. They are actively engaged in their learning. This is a pricey budget though. Our total cost is $167,655.15. This is for computers for staff. This is for Chromebooks for students, the Mastery Connect platform with professional development, and getting everything ready on the internet and IT technological side of it as well. We have 2 plans to pay for this. One is the distance learning and telemedicine grant, and then one's the ad valorem tax. The ad valorem tax is already in place, and we'll just be appropriating the funds a little bit differently than we currently are. So that is how we plan on funding it. And again, in that August board meeting, we will be rolling all of this out to ensure the commitment from the board. Technology is increasing in the world. So instead of fighting it in the classroom, let's embrace it. This school is going to be a pilot for this initiative for the entire district. That means they're going to be looking to you for guidance. Other teachers are going to come to you for encouragement. They're going to look at how you are treating this. They're also going to come to you from help. If this is a successful initiative and all schools in the district adapt it, we're going to be able to even further do professional development and trainings, because you're going to be training other people. I'm very excited for how this is going to take off, and I hope you guys get very excited also. I think there's going to be a lot of improvement in student performance and also teacher passion for teaching.